Yes, great. So as usual, first a short introduction to this program. Wastewater Talk aims to promote a knowledge exchange in the wastewater field, and every month on the first Thursday we will have a live talk session, and each time we bring a new topic for discussion. And from next month on, we will provide 2 alternative meeting times, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and we hope more people can join us with the time they feel convenient. Our goal is to share our passion in wastewater management with you, and most importantly, want to know all the experts and professionals in different countries around the world. And Klaus has another program called WASTEWATER-TALK. It's in German, and every 2 weeks will be a new episode released. If you are interested in it, feel free to check it out on the podcast. And here is an overview of the episodes we planned till June. In June, we will have a special episode about the IFAD this year in Munich. So if you're gonna be there also, then welcome to visit us at IFAD. If you won't be present there, then you're also welcome to join the episode and check it out what's new this year at IFAD. And we're also searching for some topics for the rest of the episodes in this year. If you have any idea, also we would be happy to hear from you. And now before we jump into today's topic, first we would like to have a introduction round, so everyone can introduce a little bit about yourself, where you are located, in which field you are working, or what your interested is, so we can know each other a bit better.
Hello.
Hello. Then I will start from myself. My name is Siki Tong. I come from China, and I studied water resources engineering and management in Germany for my master. And now I'm a project engineer at Uni Techniques. I'm interested in the different kind of wastewater management techniques and as well as methods used in other countries. I'm also the co-host of this Wastewater Talk program.
So the co-host, we are both co-hosts. Klaus Hirk is my name. I'm very interested. I'm also a member of Uni Techniques. I'm very interested in how other countries deal with wastewater topics, and we are doing one topic every month, and look forward to maybe your input on it. And yeah, Siki will make a small introduction. We'll ask you guys, and then you can maybe say who you are and where you're from and what you are mainly interested today. Elias, maybe you can start.
Yes, hello from Switzerland. My name is Elias Winz. I'm working at an engineering company called Hollinger in Bern, capital of Switzerland. And I'm interested in all kinds of wastewater problems, especially new techniques, new solutions, new streams.
Okay, Peter.
Good day. I think that I'm that Peter. Yes. Hello, everyone from Serbia. My name is Petar Pižurica. I'm working in the waterworks and sewage company Subotica. It is public company. It is nice to be here. I had the pleasure to see what was in the earlier how it says the earlier shadow.
Episodes,
I didn't look it online, yes, but I looked it a few days ago. I think that I can find very interesting themes that I can see what is the new thing in this sector. I worked 15 years in our company. Last 4 years in this position. Earlier, I worked on the wastewater treatment plants, and wastewater was the main thing that I'm working in this sector. Now I'm working also with drinking water, and it is nice to see something new.
Okay, thanks, Peter. Ahmed.
Yeah, hello, I'm Ahmed. I'm from Egypt. I'm doing my master degree here in Germany, in Heidelberg. and I'm almost done here, but I'm also working as part-time job as a project engineer in Rheinplan. It's a consultant company for everything everything related to water and wastewater. Also, I'm writing now my master thesis. I'm just in 2 weeks. I need to give it, or maybe 3 weeks. And it's going about the drones in the wastewater sector, wastewater treatment. And actually, Klaus was my mentor, or we can say he's my secret supervisor for my master's thesis. So I'm always happy to join this wastewater talk, because you always have these topics. Okay, sometimes you get to talk about drones, but also it interests me when you talk generally about wastewater and water in general. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pascal, Höger. Pascal, you hear us? No? Okay, then we take the next. Katharina.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Katharina. I'm also an project engineer at Uni Techniques, and I'm always excited to meet new people and network around the world. That's why I'm here. Yeah, hi.
Thanks, Katharina. Almuatazem Alaufi. I hope I said that right. No? Okay. Pedro Calona? You want to say something? Okay. We go just through the lines. Iman, Maher. Oh, they have a bad internet connection. Okay. Then we have Putri Novitasari. You hear us? Okay. Then we have me too. Okay, he has also a bad internet connection. Then we have Irfan Saputra. Where are you from? We can see your helmet. I hope they hear us at least. Okay. Then we go to Esan. You have a bad internet connection, you wrote? Okay. Today they are not very interested in okay. Sadiq Mansouri, you hear us? Yeah, there he is. Hello.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Hello. I'm from Sudan.
Okay.
I'm living in Saudi Arabia, and I am environmental engineering. I'm very excited to be here with you. It's my pleasure to meet very expert in water resources from all of the world. So I'm very excited to learn it, to begin it. Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
So who is next? Thank you, Sadiq. Robert, you already joined us last time, I think.
Yeah, hi. Hi from Latvia.
Hello. Hello.
Nice to meet you again. I'm Robert Sneylands and I'm working in Riga Water Company. I'm just interested in exchange of experience. It's very useful always now.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Robert. Then we have Bagana Walika.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, hello. Where are you from?
I am Magana from India, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm doing pursuing in MTech final year student. I am interested in wastewater problems and wastewater technologies used in to treat the wastewater like that, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then Hassan Gamaledin.
Yeah, hi, I'm
Hey.
Hassan. I'm actually from Grim Water Solution. Sorry, I don't have a proper home setup because usually I'm working from the office, but today I have some people installing my windows in my flat, so that's why I'm here. But happy to be part of this talk anyways. And if I haven't said it already, I'm working at Grim Water Solutions. That's where Philip Grimm is working as well. I guess a lot of people here might know him. And yeah, look forward to the talk.
Okay. Then we have, we are almost through. Mariam. Okay. Then Raghu, maybe you want to say something?
Hi, my name is Raghu and I'm also from India. So I am currently working as a project engineer in the company Uni Techniques, and this is my first wastewater talk, and I am so happy to be here and to exchange a view of ideas from the guys all around the world. And I wish to exchange more knowledge and know better in this from this wastewater talk from today. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I think that's all. Is somebody missing? Then you can maybe join. But I think we went through everybody. Thank you for now. And Ziki will now continue with a small presentation for today.
Yes.
Today's topic. Yes.
So first, very brief introduction to Uni Techniques. We're an engineering company based in Germany, dealing with odor, corrosion, all kinds of problems in the sewer systems. And we just celebrated our 30th anniversary. And besides, we also develop and produce develop the products against all these problems in the sewer systems. So here's a range of the products and services we have. We consult engineering projects, we investigate indirect discharges, inspect sewer systems with drones, and for the odor problems in the cities, we have a software called Sulfidus to calculate the sulfide balance. Besides, we also have the products against odor, corrosion, extraneous water, rats. Also, for some special cases, we design the dosing systems and exhaust air treatment. So today's topic is live flow monitoring. So when we talk about the flow measurement or flow monitoring, what comes into our mind first? It could be some really large electromagnetic flow meters installed between the pipes, or some flumes used at wastewater treatment plant or in the shafts, or it could be the devices for the level measurements. So generally, the live flow monitoring is an important procedure to collect the data for the evaluation of the flow conditions in the sewer systems. And the collection, as well as the analysis of this real-time data, will further support the decision-making and optimization of the wastewater treatment plant or the sewer system operation, as well as the in-time maintenance activities. So basically, there are two ways to conduct the flow monitoring. One is level measurement, where the distance between the flow surface and the sensor is recorded, and the other one is flow measurement, where the flow through the pipe is quantified for monitoring or control purposes. And recently, in this industry, there are the trends that the operators and utilities adopt technological advances for a data-driven decision-making and improvement of the operational efficiency. And these technological advances include some low-cost sensors, connectivity to the IoT, and faster data transmission and communication through the wireless networks, and development of user interface dashboards for the data management. So based on these considerations, we have two kind of flow monitoring or flow measurement strategies in mind. One is using the flow meters, but considering of their high investments in the instruments and high effort for the installation, this can only conduct it in a small scale in a given region. And the other one would be using relatively cheaper devices, level measurement devices, but we can cover the whole region in some way. Also, the investment would be lower and installation effort would also be much less. So our idea is that even though these sophisticated devices like flow meters will give a bit more accurate result from the measurement, but many simple cheap level measurements will provide a more comprehensive overview than these a few complex and expensive flow meters to understand the flow conditions in the whole region. So for the level measurement, traditionally we use the ultrasound, and the recent trend is that we use the radar sensors. And the difference between the radar and the ultrasound is that the former one, the radar, will use the electromagnetic waves, while the ultrasound will use the sound waves. And compared to the ultrasonic measurement, the radar measurement is in a high frequency range, and also the signal focusing will be stronger. This also helps to reduce the influence of the interference signals. So generally, the radar measurement will be less influenced by the environmental factors like temperature fluctuations, contamination of the sensor, or air currents, and gas and pressure. Yeah, so we can install these radar sensors in the sewage shafts, in the sewers, or above the open channels, and the entry into the shafts for the installation is not necessary. And after the collection of all this data, we can then calculate the flow rate considering the material of the sewer pipelines, which means how rough is the contact surface, and dimensions of the sewer pipelines, as well as the bottom slope. So the collected data will then be presented in a chart to show the flow pattern in the sewer systems, and then the relationship between the flow level in the sewer systems and the flow rate will then be created. And here's a photo showing the radar sensors being installed in the sewer system. And after, normally for this kind of flow monitoring campaign, there will be massive data coming in. So for a data management, we picture such a dashboard for the operators that you can see where you have the measuring points. And when you click on each section of the sewer system, you can get the physical information of the sewer system, as well as how much fluid is now flowing through this section, so that we can make it very clear and transparent what is happening underground. Now we can, it's very make it clear. And with all this data collected from a flow monitoring campaign, they can be further used in different application areas. For example, we can optimize the sewer system operation with the special focus on the rainwater retention basins and stormwater overflows. Normally, at these places, the inflow and outflow are not really regulated, but with a flow monitoring campaign or with the installation of these radar sensors, we can make it clear how much water coming into the rainwater retention basins and how much water overflows into the water receiving bodies. Also, we can recognize some potential risks in the sewer network, for example, the extraneous water intrusion, the indirect discharger, and the detection of the backflow. So more into this extraneous water, with the data collected from several months in the dry weather, we can identify the flow pattern of this sewer system and also identify some potential extraneous water intrusion points. And this topic we have covered in the third episode. And if you have interest in it, you can also check it with this link or on our website. In the odor control dosing campaign, it's also very crucial to understand the flow pattern, especially when there's rainwater retention basins, that we understand when and how much of this water coming from the retention basins into our sewer systems. So according to this information, we can then adjust the amount of the chemicals we're dosing into the sewer systems for odor control. And this topic will also elaborate more in the 7th episode in May, talking about the sulfide balance. And last but not the least, a combination of the flow monitoring data and the 3D information of these sewer systems, we can then conduct a hydrological simulation to identify some structural weak points in the sewer systems and for the further structural optimization. So actually now we are also exploring more about this flow monitoring here in Germany, and we are wondering what kind of flow issues you might have in your countries in the sewer systems, and if the flow is monitored in your country, and how is it monitored. So yeah, but I can have a discussion about these topics.
Yeah, how important is it for you guys to have a flow monitoring? Is it already present in, for example, in Serbia? Do you do something like that, Petar, in your country? Robert, you will be next.
Yes, in some parts there is some flow monitoring. In Subotica, we don't have flow monitoring of the sewage system water. We have combined sewage system. The biggest problem for us is that we don't know from what part of the city and when the water comes to our wastewater treatment plant. The first thing that we know, that when we see the water in front of the wastewater treatment plant, some of the problems is, and I looked in this, we don't have any storm water basins, retentions where we could catch that water before it's come on our wastewater treatment plant. And because of that, we have a problem with hydraulic capacity of wastewater treatment plant. The problem is that we have open channels, and I still didn't see the how could I measure that. I know some part of I see that it could be better some radar measurements, but for me it's the problem to know the I don't have electrical power in some part of the system, and I don't know how it's how was that measurements, how you do some measurements if you don't have yes, this is measuring level. I think it should be like that, level measurements, but I don't know.
We take this picture here for a second.
Yes.
This is purely by battery.
Yes. Yes.
Measurement.
Okay.
And the good and all these new technologies with NB-IoT and LoRa and so on, they have battery lifetimes up to 2 to 10 years, right?
Yes, and we are now doing something about LoRa system for the water meters for the consumptions. But yes, this is good. Okay, on the right we can see it is some kind of open channel, but I don't have this kind of open channel that are from concrete. It is all the open channels.
Yeah, okay.
I don't have exactly what are the gabarites of that, but for me the first step would be enough to know that that I have the rise of the level of water. This would be good for the first thing. Yes, okay.
I mean, what we wanted to show in the presentation was was that there's new technology now coming up from several suppliers that supply technology that works battery based. So we don't have to have a cable somewhere with to bring power. And that's for us very interesting in the last 2 years to use this technology, because then we can have more like a swarm intelligence for a complete sewer system to know, as you said, where comes the water from. That's a lot of times it's a problem to know where's the most water coming from during what rain event and so on.
Yes, yes.
So this is quite interesting to see. For example, this is Vega technology here, for example. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to add something, Peter?
No, this is the good way. The first, I think it was the first picture that we had, the difference between the flow measurements and the level measurements. And the investment in the level measurements is lower than flow measurements.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe this flow measurement is maybe a little bit precise, maybe, but for my view, for us it would be certain enough to have level measurements, and we will have more data. This could be also we can take this data because we don't have a mathematical model of our sewage system, and this is maybe the first thing to think about that.
Thank you very much. That's exactly what we wanted to show. That's exactly what Ziki wanted to show in this presentation. Thank you, Peter, that you clarified that again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Roberts, you wanted to raise your hand.
Yes, I tried to switch on the video. Okay.
Now there, yeah.
Yeah, but before I answer, from my experience, I have an answer for you. Have you come to such conclusion about these level measurements and advantages? Because I see that you can't really 100% rely on data about the depth and data about the slope of the system. How you come to this conclusion? What did you do to be sure you are relying on the not flow measurement? Because we see it's clearly when we make our hydraulic model now that data, there is problem with data about to get these slopes, right slopes, which are particularly different when we make extra geodetic measurements. Yeah, they are different from the data we have in some historic these plans we use for model.
Okay, you were a little bit hard to understand, Robert. Sorry. I request a question. You mean for modeling, it's more necessary to have more exact data? Was that your question?
No, but you come to the flow through the slope, yeah, by level measurement. Yeah, but I say that slope is not 100%.
No.
This data you can rely on.
Yeah.
How you check
it? That's right. That's actually correct. That's a big issue that we are investigating at the moment. We installed several 50 flow measurements in different areas of some sewer network companies, and we are just now testing if, how accurate it really is. For us now, it's a it's a testing phase. We get a lot of level data, but actually the issue with the slope is that's really correct, and also the possibility to get out how deep the water is during measurement, because we only measure to the level of the water. That's something we don't know yet, and we are really interested in finding out something like that. So that's actually why we are asking if some of you have experience with this. Maybe, I don't know, how is it in Switzerland? Maybe do you have experience with something like that, or India, or somebody who has experience? For us, it's a testing phase to see if it's a trade-off between I have a lot of data points, but they are maybe not as accurate. But maybe that's better to have a wide overview instead of a lot of small or not so many measuring points that are very accurate. That is what we don't know yet.
Maybe
Elias,
maybe I
And
can
how you
say
deal with
something.
sediments?
Say again?
Sorry.
Robert, say again? Okay.
I mean the sediments. Also, there is sediment transport in large volumes. Yeah, it's huge amount, and think you check it also.
And it's also an issue that we maybe want to find out with the level measurement, if we can predict flushing intervals that are necessary for sewers. If you clean the sewer, and then when do you have to clean again, for example? Maybe that's also something that you find out by the level measurement. Sorry.
Okay, then probably it's my subjective opinion that the combination of level and flow measurement is best solution, but it's a very not easy task. We are right now in the same position in Riga, actually, and we are needed for flow measurements. We have only them in pressure pipes in pumping station, but it's not enough for model verifying. Yeah, and we also have this combined system, and there is huge amount of this drain or rainwater. So probably we will find some subjective opinion for main points for flow measurement and to expand it with level measurement. But I have another question. You mentioned battery operation. It's if the points are very many, then it's good solution, I think. Do you have experience for flow measurement units equipped with batteries? Because I assume this level measurement is lower consumption and lasts longer. But how is for flow measurement?
For flow measurement, the current capacity is between 3 months, 2 months, and a year. Depends a little bit on the technology you use. There's radar possibilities, laser possibilities, but also the possibility of installation of some mouse systems. That all depends on to have the data online, or do you want to have it locally and just go there for a month or so and then read out the data. That is also important. So I think it's between 2 and 2 months and 1 year, but more like we're talking about months and not about years. Yeah.
Yeah, because the investments in electricity for such projects is
it's too high. Yeah,
is quite enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Elias, you wanted to say something also?
Yes. Maybe two things. First, in Switzerland, there are a lot of cities with a lot of money. So what they do is they measure, and they don't have these devices with batteries. They have fixed measurement stations. They installed them maybe 10 or 20 years ago. And now our experience is that usually they install it and then they leave it in there. They collect data, and you can have data, very detailed data for 10 years maybe, but no one uses the data. So my advice is really think what you want to do with the data afterwards, and also think what that's going to cost. Because if you want to evaluate the data, if you want to check the data, if you want to make sure the measurement is still correct in 1 year, in 2 years, in 3 years, then you need to take into account that costs a lot of money too. So that's a bit the problem in Switzerland. That's the first thing. And then the second thing is what we experience is what you usually do is we try to make a comparison between the measurement and the models we have from the systems. So we try to see if our models are correct. And what's very important is that you have good rain data as well, because if you are not sure how much rain there was, then you have no chance to really be sure that your measurement was correct, or that your model gives you the right amount of water in the pipes. So I think if you have a model and you want to calibrate it, then it's good to have a nice rain data as well. And especially for a bigger cities, you have rain patterns, and then you really need 2 or 3 or 4 different rain measurement stations. Otherwise, you have no chance to really verify your model. But otherwise, I think it's very it gives you a lot of information if you have several measurement stations. So I think it's a good idea to measure less accurate, but more different stations. I think that's a good way. Also, if it's sometimes just the level. If you just have the level and you can't even say how much the flow was, but still you have a level, and this gives you an idea of how your system works.
Okay, how is it in other areas? What about rain data, radar data? We have a lot of radar data in Germany about rain events. We don't know. I'm not sure how good they are. I use them for going jogging and see if in the next hour if it will be raining. That's quite good. But how is it in other countries about the databases? Maybe some other guys here, Pedro or Mariam. You didn't say anything yet. We will include you here somehow. No, Iman, Maher, you want to say something about this issue? Pascal, we already somebody wrote in the chat that we will about the presentation. We will upload the presentation to our website again.
Yeah.
But also, if you want to leave your email address, we can also mail it to you and the link to the presentation again. Pascal, you hear us? You wanted to have the presentation also. What is interesting for you? Maybe his microphone doesn't work. Okay. Yeah. So for us, it's a very interesting thing. We will be on also. I don't know if there's. Pascal has a bad connection. We will be on IFAD also for presenting the issue and discussing with a lot of people how to proceed with this. For now, we're trying to make a lot of test installations with level meters to compare to flow meter accuracy, and hope in the future that we will get more data. Also, there will be some kind of platform who makes a automatic data analysis. We are planning that. to find out where sensors not bringing correct data, or maybe making some artificial intelligence in the background who will tell us how to proceed with this. And I'm the same opinion as Elias, that it's the most important thing is how to proceed with the data that you collect, because then it's, if you don't do anything about the data, then yeah, what's the point of having a sensor anyway, right?
Maybe I can say something from Switzerland as well. But we tested another way to measure with temperature measuring.
Okay.
They are called eye buttons. They're as big as that. And what they do is they just measure the temperature. And so usually the water has another temperature than the air. And just through the temperature, you can say if the level was below or above the measure with this eye button. So if you put several of them into your canals, then you have a pretty good picture of the water
And how's
level.
the connection? How do they bring out the data? Is there a modem inside, or?
You need a device that comes with it, and you can plug them into your computer. Actually, it's without the cable. So this device, you can put them on it, and they collect the data. They take the data out of the
So
device.
it's not online. It's not online.
It's not online. No, you have to collect them, and they are very small, but the battery lasts for 5 years.
Okay.
So you can install them and check maybe every year, or even just after 5 years.
That's very inexpensive way to get data. Okay. Cool.
Exactly. I think it's like $50 or 50 euros, one piece of them. So yeah, it's very cheap. You just need to nail them into your wall, and that's it.
But how many you need these sensors in one shaft to get enough like really good information from it?
Depends on how accurate you want to have your data, or how much you want to measure. But usually we use like 5 to 10 for one spot. You need some of them. Yeah.
You want to know if the certain level was surpassed, was higher than a certain level, then maybe 1 point could be enough.
Yes, exactly. If you want to check if you have an overflow, for example, over a weir, then it's enough if you have one. And
very interesting. Never heard that. Thank you.
For 1 year or 2 years.
Never heard that. Okay.
But you also need to proceed the data, because the data only shows you the temperature, and it's like this. So you need a code that really tells you where the gaps are, or where how do you say that, if it's going up or down slowly or fast. You need to divide between this, because usually you have the temperature from the air, which is not constant, but then if the water is coming, it makes a jump.
Elias, Katarina said maybe you can write the name of the sensors in the chat. Would be interesting for some guys, maybe.
I will.
Yeah, okay. I have a question on the sensors. I mean, for Elias, like, for the data to process, you guys have any kind of online portal to measure that in the live screening, or I mean, how do you process this huge bulk of data? Like, if you are installing for 5 years, there's the data, the cloud will be huge and overwhelming data. And how do you guys process it? I mean, do you have any online portal which can be measured like in real time view or something? Or I'm just curious.
No, with these eye buttons, you can only you have to go into the canal, take them out, take them into the office, put them on the device that makes the connection, and then you download all the data for up to 5 years. So, but then you need to proceed the data with MATLAB, for example, or RStudio. So it's not enough if you use an Excel. You really need to write the code that that makes the analysis of the data.
That's great.
And it's not online or something. You really have to go out and take the buttons in, and they are not made for this purpose. We just use them for that.
Okay.
So it's not made for.
So it's a manual measurement reading devices. So you guys do it manually. So you guys go to the places and then collect the data manually.
Yes.
And then you read it on the. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks again.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. Is anybody else who wants to join to share something with us about flow metering or something else maybe that is interesting for a future episode of this? Some of you guys are the first time here. Maybe Peter, what would be interesting for you for some future episodes or so?
I still don't know to say what, because if I have a possibility, I will look few of the new episodes, and then maybe I will know something. What would I like to see more? I can say something about this. We have some data from the, how it says, the weather, the rain will come, amount of water that was the amount of rain that we have on the Subotica city. But the biggest, it's not problem for the whole year. For me, the biggest problem with this, to see from where the water comes, because sometimes in the summer, we should not have the rain, and we don't have any weather conditions that it should be rain, but in some part of Subotica there is a rain. And I don't know what part is that before the water come here. And because of that, I can look just on the weather prognosis, what will it be. And we don't know in Subotica, we have just one measurement points of the amount of rain. And this is not enough to see for us from where an amount of water that comes. This is on that you have good data about that you said, and that is still problem for me. And what Elias says, we will need to measure the level of the water in some channels, but we will also need to have the measurements of the rain on the few spots to see to have precision data. That's for me.
Yeah, okay. So anybody else wants to join in the discussion? And we don't pull it in every length. It would be what was very nice that you joined us here. Everybody who's first time here also, we will send around the presentation on the website, or if you leave your email, as we discussed. And yeah, next time, what is next time?
Next one on 7th April, we will talk about the exhaust air treatment.
Okay, so odors maybe also a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the pre-episode for the odor.
Okay, so pre-episode for odor, and then afterwards it's the odor episode. Okay, that's a lot. That's something we do a lot in the past years, especially when homes get nearer to wastewater installations. Maybe that's interesting for you guys. And yeah, the odor episode is then the next one. But yeah, hope to see you next month. It was nice that you joined us, and yeah, have a nice day still.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Have a nice day. Have a nice day.